All right, chat. Every team's most overrated player.
Most overrated player right now. And I was inspired to do this because we are in the heart of the NBA playoffs right now. There are different criteria for overrated.
After this, what we finna play?
Opinion. Again, I need to state this.
What we finna play after this?
Overrated does not necessarily mean bad. It can mean a player that is either overpaid, injury prone, or just really hasn't progressed as much as they probably should have at this stage of their career. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show right after this. If you followed me on Twitter or YouTube for a while, you
Whoa.
all the rated ever buried for the code. Atlanta Hawks, John Collins.
Where you going past that way?
This is a bit of a heel turn for me because for the longest time I actually thought that John Collins was somewhat underrated. But in recent years, especially this past year,
the Hawks, they need to get rid of Collins, bro.
13 points per game before bottoming out in the playoffs.
Bro, I think the Hawks getting DeJounte Murray, I think the Hawks getting Murray messed Collins up a lot, bro. Like, he don't know his role on the team anymore.
So that hasn't stopped his bank account as he's the second
Poole for
player
Capella
on the Hawks, despite not being nearly their second best player. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hawks try to move him.
Oh, 216. 216. What the fuck happened to the Cavs? Y'all niggas got eliminated by the Knicks. Are you fucking serious? But you had the nerve to say that the Cavs would beat Philly in the playoffs. You gotta be like one of the most like I ain't gonna say it, bro. I ain't even gonna say it, bro. But listen. The Cavs will never be nothing unless they have LeBron on their team. Okay? Everyone knows that.
Him this offseason. Boston Celtics, Marcus Smart. Smart's offensive game consists of being able to pass the ball a little bit and just bombing threes at a relatively inefficient rate. He's as hyped as he is because of his defense, which is very good, but still, perimeter defense in today's NBA means less than it ever has before.
Damn. They said Marcus Smart the most overrated player on the Celtics? Nah, that's crazy.
And honestly, him winning Defensive Player of the Year is a bit of a joke. He also has the Hustle Player of the Year award, which whatever that means. He loves diving on the ground and diving around other players' legs, which is pretty dangerous and dirty. Again, he's not a bad player, but if he wasn't in...
Bro, Horford's making $26 million, bro? Damn!
Boston on national television all the time, nobody would care who he is. This one really wasn't hard. Ben Simmons is making about $35 million a year to just sit on the bench most of the time and...
Bro, and they actually, I remember when the trade happened with Ben Simmons and Harden and the whole thing. Bro, you fake Brooklyn Nets fans was really saying the Nets won the deal, bro. Y'all didn't realize that this nigga right here, bro, is literally, he's a virus, bro. He's herpes. He's AIDS. He's cancer. Everywhere he goes, shit just don't work, bro. I'm glad Philly got him out of there when they could.
Play really crappy basketball. It's kind of sad that he was once seen as one of the future stars of the NBA. And
that nigga need, I don't know what he need, bro.
Nobody could have foreseen Simmons declining to such a point where he's not even shooting wide open layups anymore. But it's not all bad for Benny. He's young, he's rich, and he has a bunch of IG models at his disposal whenever he wants. So.
Bro, he's making $35 million a year, bro. Oh my god. Bro, Philly's GM, $35 million. That is insane. But the nigga who traded for this salary, bro, is even more insane.
So, first world problems, I guess. Usually it would be hard to find an overrated player on a bad team from a small market, but in this case, not really. Gordon Hayward is paid $30 million to be extremely mid, and honestly, he hasn't been anywhere close to where he was in Utah ever since his famous injury during his first game with...
So the agent that got him that contract
Boston in 2017. It's pretty
W
incredible he
agent.
still gets paid like a superstar when he's never even played like it even at his best, and it's been years since he was even a star player. Maybe he can use some of that money to get a better haircut. Chicago Bulls, Lonzo Ball.
Damn.
Lonzo
just always injured.
Who really has never done much in the NBA, never come close to living up to the hype that he had coming out of UCLA. But he's not necessarily a bad player when healthy, but therein lies the issue. He has not been healthy for the last several years, and he's still getting paid almost $20 million by the Chicago Bulls. Since being traded to the Bulls in 2021, he's only appeared in 35 games, and it's not even certain he's ever going to step back on the court again. A very sad story. Cleveland Cavaliers, Evan Mobley. Remember when I said overrated doesn't necessarily mean bad? That sums up this Evan Mobley selection. Mobley is already a good player and an impactful player. He's already made an all-defensive first team and looks to be a defensive player of the year contender for years to come. But I feel like people have jumped the gun a little bit too quickly on him in future superstardom, especially because offensively, to me, I haven't seen anything that will indicate that he's going to be an offensive superstar. I have no doubt he'll get better as he's only going to be entering his third year next year. A lot of people just seem to give him credit for the player that he could become as opposed to the player he is right now. Dallas Mavericks, Davis Bertans. Some people might say Luka, others might say Kyrie, but to me the choice was easy here. Davis Bertans made $16 million this season by playing just 11 minutes per game and averaging under 5 points per game.
Bro, imagine getting paid $16 million to play 11 minutes a night. Wow.
And the worst part is for Dallas, he's on the hook for over $16 million in each of the next 3 seasons as a 30-year-old one-dimensional sharpshooter. There just really aren't a lot of positive things to say here. Denver Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr. This selection was a lot tougher than I thought. The Nuggets have quietly built a very good team
Aaron
with not
Gordon.
many holes. No offense to Sarah J. However, the one player that you can say makes maybe a little bit too much money is Michael Porter Jr. He's had injury issues with his back, and he's pretty one-dimensional in terms of his game offensively. He's an elite shooter from three-point range, but other than that, he can't really play.
Damn, $30
million.
million.
Think a worse version of Klay Thompson. Not bad, but not worth $30 million a year. Detroit Pistons, James Wiseman. How exactly am I going to choose the most overrated player from the worst team in the NBA? Well, I guess I'll go with James Wiseman because he's one of the few players on the Pistons this season that garnered some attention after he was traded from the Golden State Warriors. The former second overall pick looks like a complete bust, and every single time
Warriors miss with him.
Teams get the crap kicked out of him. He has a pretty large fan base, though, for some reason, even though he stinks. Call him Darko Wiseman. Golden State Warriors, Jordan Poole. I was this close to saying Steph Curry just for shits and giggles, but I couldn't do it. The answer here is Jordan Poole because the Warriors, for the most part, have built a pretty good roster. Unsurprisingly, even though Steph gets all the credit for it. The Warriors handed Poole the bag this offseason after he had a very, very good playoff run.
Poole getting blamed unfairly.
This year, he's been inconsistent, and in the playoffs, he's been pretty bad. Once you consider that his contract extension kicks in next year, I would not be surprised if the Warriors move on from him.
Oh my God, bro. Damn. You get a jump from $4 million a year to $28 million to 30 to 33 to 35.
Once this year is over. Houston Rockets, John Wall. Some of you might be confused and say, hey Barry, John Wall didn't play for the Houston Rockets this season. And that's exactly the point. Despite not playing for the Houston Rockets, John Wall still was paid $47 million in salary by the Rockets.
Who's gonna be on the
But to make it
who's
even
gonna be
funnier,
the Lakers?
last offseason, he bought out his contract, which left $40 million at the top, and then he was traded back to the Rockets this past season by the Clippers when they bought him out again for another $6.5 million. So he literally appears twice on their salary list. Isn't that hilarious? Indiana Pacers, Miles Turner. Miles Turner has been in Indiana for 8 years now, and he's never really taken the leap that many people expected that he would. The issue here is that Miles Turner's play has basically remained static on the court, but his yearly salaries have continued to increase as if he has improved when he hasn't. Indiana basically paid him $35 million this past season to be the same exact player that he was in 2017 when he was only making $3 million. Los Angeles Clippers, Robert Covington. This one's pretty easy. Covington played just 48 games with 0 starts and averaged 6 points per game this year, but he was the 6th highest paid player on the team, making over $12 million a year. Come playoff time, he didn't see any meaningful minutes either. So congrats to Robert on getting paid a lot of money for front row seats to Clippers meltdowns. Los Angeles Lakers, DAngelo Russell. D'Lo is a pretty maddening player. He's not very athletic for a guard, so
D'Lo? What? No, nigga. I know who it is, bro. It's Beasley, nigga. Beasley, the most overrated nigga on the Lakers, bro. It's not D'Lo, bro. D'Lo. No, bro. It's not D'Lo, bro. It's Beasley, nigga. It's Beasley.
So defensively, he can be a liability, and offensively, especially in the postseason, he is maddeningly inconsistent shooting the ball. But not only that, he gets paid like a superstar, making $31 million.
Okay. I can see why it's D'Lo now. That nigga gets paid way too much. Way too much. But look at Beasley, though. He's number 4, and he don't even play. Crazy, bro.
This season. But in D'Lo's defense, I would absolutely take him and his contract over Russell Westbrook's $47 million contract that the Lakers had the previous 2 years. But I had to choose somebody for this spot, and D'Lo is the odd man out. Memphis Grizzlies, Dillon Brooks. This one really wasn't much of a surprise. Dillon Brooks went from being seen as a very good defensive player to potentially out of the league in a matter of weeks after talking crap about LeBron and the Lakers in the playoffs. But therein also lies the issue with Brooks. He made over $11 million this past season to shoot 31% in the playoffs and get embarrassed on a national level. I will say, though, that I do think people go a little bit overboard crapping on him when there are definitely worse human beings that play in the league that deserve more crap than he does. Miami Heat, Duncan Robinson. No, I'm not talking about the league.
Bro, why did the Grizzlies not play Zaire Williams? Like, he didn't get no clock at all. That doesn't make any sense. He literally played the whole series against the Warriors last year. And now this year, he gets no clock.
That deserve more crap than he does. Miami Heat, Duncan Robinson. No, I'm not talking about the top 2 players in Spurs history. I'm talking about the Miami Heat sharpshooter Duncan Robinson, who looks like Sheen from Jimmy Neutron. But he's also raking in a lot more money than Sheen ever did, which is why he makes this video. He raked in almost $17 million this past season to appear in 42 games and average just 6 points a game. The Miami Heat are usually pretty good when it comes to contracts and avoiding liabilities like this, but they missed the mark here. Milwaukee Bucks, Drew Holiday. Now, I know Holiday has a lot of fans around the league, and he's one of the good guys, and he never gets talked about a lot, but to me, I think that works in his favor and why he actually ends up on this list. Yes, he's won a ring with Milwaukee, but during his time in Milwaukee, he's been really, really bad in the playoffs, shooting under 40% in 3 postseasons combined. He may be a great defender, but when the bright lights come on, he has not been at his best. Is he worth nearly $34 million? I don't think so. Minnesota Timberwolves, Karl Anthony Towns. A lot of people would have thought.
Bro, I think it would be Rudy, bro.
Gobert, but I feel like Rudy Gobert is already the most hated player in the league. So I didn't go with him. I did go instead with Karl Anthony Towns, who once was seen as potentially the future best player in the league. Instead,
niggas used to really compare Cat to AD, bro.
It's just declined, and thus far in his career, he has been extremely disappointing in the postseason. He plays soft. He really has no heart most of the time. His career has just turned out to be pretty underwhelming, even though he still is a good player, but well behind what a lot of people thought he would be by this stage of his career. New Orleans Pelicans, Zion Williamson.
Damn, meatball.
To say, as a massive Zion fan who believed when he came out of Duke that he had the potential to be a top 10 player ever by the time his career was over. And I wasn't completely wrong, because when he's been on the court, he has been legendarily good. The problem is that in 4 seasons, he's only played in 114 games. It doesn't matter how good you are if you're missing all of or the majority of the season. I still believe Zion could...
Bro, this is insane, bro. In 29 games, he was averaging 26 points, bro. Damn, bro. 4 assists, 7 rebounds. Wait, am I blind? Oh, no. Damn.
Can be a Hall of Famer someday, but if next season is more of the same, I think I'll finally have to give
Bro, what?
up that dream. New York Knicks.
That's how much he's bro, what?
But if next season is more of the same, I think I'll finally have to give up that dream. New York Knicks, Julius Randle. Bear with me here. Obviously, Julius Randle has lived up to his massive contract in the regular season. But come playoff time with the Knicks,
bro, Randle is cheap, bro. Knicks got to trade him.
He is literally one of the worst postseason performers ever for somebody with as many postseason games played as he has. Randle appears to suffer from DeMar DeRozan disease, where a very good player inexplicably turns into shit once the playoffs start. Oklahoma City Thunder, Lou Dort.
Damn, I thought Lou Dort was nice.
Non-popular version of Marcus Smart. He's a hard-nosed defender and a very, very inefficient offensive player. But he's certainly not paid as if he's inefficient offensively. To me, I think if the Thunder really want to complete their rebuilding process, they need to get Dort out of there and replace him with somebody more offensively inclined as soon as possible. Orlando Magic, John, with somebody.
The Thunder got Kemba Walker?
More offensively inclined as soon as possible. Orlando Magic, Jonathan Isaac. Isaac was once seen as a bit of a rising star and a future cornerstone of the Magic franchise, but in the last 3 seasons, he's only played in 11
They cut him,
games.
but still paying him? Nah, that's crazy. Getting paid to get cut?
Seasons, he's made nearly $43 million
Life is good.
the last 3 years and is on the hook for $17 million in each of the next 2 years. I have a feeling that the Magic will be trying to get rid of him soon. Philadelphia 76ers, Tobias Harris.
Of course.
This is pretty straightforward. Tobias Harris is a good player, but he is not worth $38 million a year. And he's certainly...
Oh, they're paying this nigga 38? Bro, Philly, bro. Y'all niggas... Oh, my God. Philly GM is fucking stupid. You paid this nigga $38 million? Bro, what the fuck be up with these owners, bro? Like, what the fuck?
Certainly not better than Joel Embiid or James Harden, his teammates.
Oh, fuck no. Oh, fuck no. Oh. This nigga is making $37 million and Embiid's making 33. Harden's making 33. Maxey's only making 2. This nigga Doc, bro. Korkmaz's making $5 million and you don't play this nigga at all. He's making $5 million to sit on the bench. Play this nigga, Korkmaz. I can't believe Tobias is making $38 million, bro. Dumbass GM. Whoever offered Tobias this contract is a fucking dumbass.
Basically, I want Tobias Harris as agent.
I don't care how rich that nigga is. Whoever offered Tobias this contract is a fucking idiot, bro.
To be my agent. Phoenix Suns, DeAndre Ayton. Ayton has always been a little bit chastised for never becoming anywhere nearly as good as his draft mate Luka Doncic, who was drafted after him in 2018. But still, he hasn't been a bad player, but he seems to be soft and mentally weak. That didn't stop the Suns from giving him almost $31 million this year, though, just for him to basically tap out and quit on the team in the postseason, averaging just 13 points a game for a guy who's supposed to be a dominant center. I get the feeling the Suns are tired of Ayton's attitude and lack of production. Portland Trailblazers, Anthony Simons. Look, I'm going to be straight up with you here. I don't really watch a lot of Trailblazers games because they're really bad. So I had to just choose somebody, and I went with Simons, who is making over $22 million this year, to basically be a worse version of teammate.
Damn!
Now, Simons has improved.
Hey, we all know why Dave's staying. We know why he's staying in why I say Denver. All the Trailblazers, bro, making that $42 million, bro. He making the most out of all the niggas we done seen on here.
improved steadily since he got into the league in 2018, but his style of play really doesn't seem to translate to winning. Portland needs to either trade Dame and build a style of play really doesn't steadily since
damn, Niggas only making, well, not only, but he making 15.
He got into the league in 2018, but his style of play really doesn't seem to translate to winning.
But I don't know. I feel like
trade Dame and build around Simmons.
I feel like the pay distribution is even on the Blazers.
Sacramento Kings, Harrison Barnes. I wanted to put Sabonis here after his disgraceful showing in the first round versus Kevon Looney, but in the end, I decided to go with Barnes just because Barnes is paid like a high-end role player when really
Barnes gets paid way too much.
He's just a average player at best. Doesn't give you anything besides the occasional.
Barnes needs to be getting paid around.
He was pretty bad in the playoffs this year.
Around this range right here, right between the 4 and 8. Maybe even lower than the 4.
Anything besides the occasional scoring punch, and he was pretty bad in the playoffs this year as well. Thanks for missing that game winner in Game 4 versus the Warriors, Harrison. You could have helped a lot of lives if you had made that open shot. San Antonio Spurs, Doug McDermott. Truth be told, the Spurs are now terrible and get basically no attention, so it was hard to say who was overrated, but I said McDermott because he was the highest paid player on the team, despite starting 0 games and averaging just...
Bro, Spurs got all the cap space in the world. They not paying one person over 15. Bro, what? They got all the cap space in the world, bro. Bro, if niggas want to go team up, nigga, go to the Spurs, bro. They got all the cap space in the world. Watch. I ain't even gonna say it, bro.
Points. He's good for some 3-point shooting, but
imagine Randall, Poole, and Jaylen Brown all go to the Spurs.
not much else. Although, gosh darn it, doesn't he just look like a scrappy, hard-working daughter dater? Toronto Raptors, Scotty Barnes. Barnes was expected to make a leap after winning Rookie of the Year in 2022, and instead he just stayed basically the same, having a disappointing sophomore season, which ended with the Raptors missing the playoffs. So Barnes might not be overpaid per se, he's not even a bad player, but at this point in time, I think it's fair to expect a little bit more out of him. Utah Jazz, Colin Sexton. I wanted to say Russell Westbrook just because his $47 million contract is on the books. And I used John Wall as an example for Houston, even though he didn't.
Oh, I thought they said Sexton was getting paid $47 million. Damn, Westbrook really is getting paid $47 million, bro.
Play for them this year, but Wall
he getting paid more than Dame.
Played for Houston. Westbrook never played for Utah, so I'm going to go with Colin Sexton instead. Sexton is a pretty limited player who's capable of some nice scoring outbursts, but doesn't really give you much else. But despite that, he was paid almost $17 million last year. I am not a fan of his game. Washington Wizards, Bradley Beal. Just a couple seasons ago, Beal was averaging 30-plus points, but his game has never seemed to translate as much to winning as you would think. But that hasn't stopped his salary from rising, as he's on the hook for over $43 million this year, and it just gets worse and worse for Washington in the upcoming years. He's only getting older, and his play has declined the last couple of years. His contract is becoming
nah. Nah, what?
He's getting older and his play has declined the last couple of years. His contract.
Nah, this nigga's getting paid $57 million in 2026, bro. Nah, bro. This nigga Bill, he done ran off, bro. I bet that nigga Bill, before games, he just be like, I'm going to just go through the motions tonight. I'm going to just try not to get injured. But if I get injured, hey, fuck it. I still got all this money coming in. Bro, that nigga Bill robbed these niggas, bro.
Becoming an albatross. If Washington is serious about being contenders again, they need to find a way to get off of Beal's contract. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.
Hey, W video. Hey, the Wizards, they gonna be ass for all the way until 2026, until they get Beal up out of here, bro, because that's insane, bro.